Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of March 23rd through the 29th. And during that time, we'll have a waning crescent moon, a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. And you will need that because then the new moon comes up on the 29th, which is a good time for a fresh start and new beginnings. So get yourself all rested up as we go into the new cycle. So keep those moon energies in mind as you move through your week. Also, Gemini, since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel and it's super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I've noticed some of you repeat. So I just want to say how much I do appreciate that as I get my channel started here on YouTube. All right, this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Gemini. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, your overall message for this reading, Gemini: meditate and contemplate. And it's a really good week to do that. So, maybe it is time for you guys to just go within this week. And again, kind of just go ahead and surrender to a little bit of rest. Take that extra nap. Make sure you're getting, a lot of really good sleep and time to meditate. Take that time to just really close your eyes, go within, just let the rest of the world go and see what happens. All right, Gemini, your overall energy for this week. Looks like some celebration is in order here with the Four of Wands. I don't know why I was about to say swords there. Four of Wands. So maybe you're kind of celebrating something, or you're getting ready to celebrate something. You're just kind of, and maybe you're just in a good mood. You're in a happy, good celebratory time. It could be that there's, a wedding that you're celebrating, or maybe a birth or a birthday or something, just something in your world that's just kind of putting you in that celebratory mood. So that's pretty awesome. Your current situation is King of Cups, so you're also sitting in a place of just being knowledgeable of not only your own emotions but everybody around you, just the world around you, and you just have a really good understanding of those emotional things. That's a pretty awesome energy. At the root of your situation is the Star card, so this is you, knowing your direction, knowing, I this is one of those cards of balance. Kind of reminds me of the Temperance card a little bit too. That being able to understand that emotional world, but also put it on the material world. That good balance. But our star is kind of a card of knowing your destination. Kind of listening to the guidance of the universe and just kind of being drawn to the thing that you kind of intuitively know a thing. What is in your recent past here is the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be that you've come into some recent fortune here. You're in a good place. Maybe you just had a good lucky streak. Um, it's just a good time for you. Really, really good positive energy here. On your mind this week is your financial stability. So that's not bad. Um, yeah, it looks like you're coming from a place of fortune. Just lots of balance, and maybe that's why, if your life's in a really good place, it's time to meditate and say, what's next? What's up next for me? What direction do I need to go to? Where do I need to put my focus right now? What is just ahead of you is the Queen of Pentacles. So, more positive things here. This is really an understanding of your material world and how things work and how things work for you in your life. And also just very positive. This is very, just that nurturing, mothering energy when it comes to, not only finances, but your home life, that, the things are just together and in just a really good place for you right now. Your advice position is I feel like this card, this is new to me over the last few months reading here on YouTube and reading for collective when I'm used to reading just for individuals. And I've noticed that there's the card. There's usually one or two cards that I call kind of the stars of the deck that week. And this card has been there now, I think in all the readings that I've done so far. And, so Eight of Swords is this is kind of one of those cards where you're feeling stuck, but it's also you kind of having to use your mind. This is air energy. So using your thoughts to really think your way out of a situation. So what are you thinking your way out of right now, Gemini? And especially when you're in this real positive energy. And like I said, it could be not even thinking your way out of something, but thinking of where you're going to next. You're in this really good energetic place when it comes to it looks like finances and emotion. You're celebrating, you're the direction you want to go to. What thoughts are you going to use to get yourself moving in that correct direction and the direction that you want to go in? What's beyond your control is the Empress. So I love this card. This is the card of creativity. This can sometimes be the card of pregnancy. And I always like to remind not actual literal pregnancy, although that can be the case. And I've had that happen in readings. So, but it can also be the pregnancy of giving birth to an idea or, a project or something, just something kind of on the horizon here. And it's beyond your control. And like I said, with these thoughts, I don't see this as a negative thing. This is using your thoughts to move something in a direction. And again, maybe it's to give birth to something, to some project that you're going to be involved with, something that, or a way of being. So meditate and contemplate on that. What is it? What is it? What is the direction? Where are you going to go? Are you sure of that? And that's fine if you are. And how are you going to use your intellect to help yourself give birth to this thing? So very interesting there, Gemini. What is your secret desire or what you're trying to avoid is a little bit of conflict here. And this doesn't have to be negative conflict. This can be debate, but this is probably your question of the week. And it could be, about decision making and things when it comes to moving in a different direction that you may want to, consider people around you. You might want to talk to your family, maybe your spouse if you're thinking about, and there just could be some good, healthy debate about if your way of thinking is a good idea, and just kind of bounce those things off of other people. Especially if you are married, it's good to bounce those things off your spouse. If you've got, some direction that you're wanting to take, your spouse knows you better than anyone, and they can give you those positive and negatives and see things maybe beyond where you're able to with yourself. So but it could be friends too. Do you talk to your friends? Is this a good idea? I'm kind of thinking about making a change here in whatever area of of your life that you're thinking about. And you'll have friends also that will give you their opinion, and you may just need that healthy good debate back and forth. So that's going to be your big question this week is maybe to bring that up to people or to not. Is it your secret desire to bring that up and have healthy debate, or are you trying to avoid bringing it up because you don't want to hear the debate? You don't want to be involved with that. So that's really your big question of the week. Your outcome is the 5 of Cups here. So a little bit of grief and sadness, and maybe it comes out of this debate. Maybe it comes out of someone, if you're thinking about a certain direction and you're going to have this debate with people, there may be something that they say that's not really what you want to hear, but it may be the truth. And it may be some truth that you kind of have to accept and go, yeah, yeah, maybe that person's right. And I'm trying to think of an example. Yeah, I can't really think of, I don't know why I can't think of just no, I can't think of anything. Let's see what's hidden. Maybe it'll come to you. What is hidden from you is the hard work. Hard work is hidden from you in this, and maybe that's not what you're seeing. Maybe, like I said, I couldn't really come up with an example, but let's say you decide that you're going to start a business, and you have friends and family that are like, hey, this is going to be a lot of hard work. And they may list off 10 things that you're not even thinking about that are not super that are more realistic than what you're thinking about. You're maybe thinking about the fun aspect of doing this thing, and like I said, giving birth to maybe this business. But you've got friends and family that are like, hey, those are the fun things, but here's what you're not thinking about, and it's the boring things that, it's the advertising and the accounting and the da, 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 all the things that, and it might leave you a little bit disappointed that people aren't, not that they're not on board, but they're kind of also doing that devil's advocate thing where they're pointing out also the negative aspects of it. And I feel like if you do go the way, that might be why if you're trying to avoid this debate, that might be why, that you kind of know that stuff anyway. And if you don't avoid this debate, that's the stuff that's going to come up. So leave room for that. And it's not, again, if hard work is hidden from you, it could be that you're not thinking about those things in the correct way, if that makes sense. So, um, if you're, Geminis can be a little bit impulsive. So that's something to maybe think about. Think about the thing that you're trying to maybe give birth to or get into. And I'm not saying it is a business. I was just using that as an example, but think about that thing in kind of a more realistic way rather than just being impulsive and I'm going to go, just go do all the things and get it started without anyone's advice. So you may just want to, go within a little bit on that. Meditate, contemplate, really just think it all through very well. Let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final word here for Gemini. Otherwise, I see this as you're in a good, positive place, Gemini. So it doesn't mean that this thing can't happen. It means that you may need to think of some of the more practical things when it comes to it. Again, like you're thinking about, for example, you're thinking about opening an ice cream place and you think, oh, it's going to be so much fun that get to serve people ice cream. And that's the fun part and all the different flavors and all the fun things that go with, putting sprinkles on and all the toppings and things that go with ice cream. And that's the fun part of the ice cream. But you're not thinking that, you have to stock up ice cream and you have to spend 2 hours in a freezer every morning digging out ice cream things and you have to do the orders and you have to put the money out up front, all those real responsible things that go with having a business, right? Those practical things that are not the fun parts of it. So that's all I'm saying. If that makes sense to you, I hope it does. Is think about all sides of a project if you're thinking about starting something. All right, final message here. Oops, sorry. Final words for Gemini. Make necessary sacrifices. So, I mean, and that's where this work is kind of hidden from you and the sacrifice part of this. And that just hearing that might make you a little bit disappointed at the end of it. But again, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It means that you do need to, you have a tendency to be good at the things you're doing. And this could just be one of those things that you can be, but you're not thinking about the practical portions of it. For some reason, that's coming up to me in all of this, especially over here in this situation here. And you're coming into it with the best attitude and the best intentions, but it's almost like you don't want to be knocked down, but you know that the people around you are definitely going to bring up those realities. So make necessary sacrifices, and maybe that's what this is about. Maybe that is about that if you do this thing, there are some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. This could be with time and with money, just different things that you will have to sacrifice in order to make that a success. So, Gemini, I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope you get through this week and really do, meditate and contemplate on this thing. It's not like it's a horrible idea. It's just that there's some realities that maybe you haven't thought about, and maybe some of the sacrifices that you do need to think about. So, I really appreciate your time here with me today. And I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, leave me a comment down below and let me know, what is it that you're struggling with? And did you have some idea that you're trying to, that you're trying to kind of bring to fruition this week? I'd be very curious to know. And of course, the comments, it helps me help you. So I do post readings every week. So come back next week and we'll see if this situation continues or if there's something totally new, a totally new energy here for you next week. Also, I will say again, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you like my reading style, it really does help my channel. And of course, it'll help you find me next week. And that's the most important part, right? So, Gemini, thank you so much for joining me this week, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.